Hey everybody, Thirstar Hacker back again, and I got a bit of a cold right now, so bear with me. I was down for the last couple of days. I wanted to put some videos out, but I just didn't have it in me, guys. But anyway, I finally went out and got the other freewheel that will be needed to do the dual freewheel. So we have one that runs the chain for the pedals and one that runs the chain for the motor. And since they're both freewheeling, they won't interfere with each other. Now, one thing I noticed, and I didn't notice this until I got home, but this freewheel here has a taper at the end of it, which is not going to be a problem for us. It'll actually help us because we won't have to use on the adapter here, we probably won't have to use this ring. So anyhow, this is the one that came with the kit, and as you can see, it goes all the way through. There's no taper on the end of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this adapter piece right here, and I'm going to screw this down. Because when you screw, well, drop that. Anyway, when I screwed this down on, you can see we still have plenty of threads left over in there for this thing to bite on. And you only have about this much thread total anyway. But moving along, we can screw this right down on here. And we'll take this one and just screw that right on top of it. As you can see, this goes a few turns in there. It should do what I need it to do. Screw that guy down on there. We'll take a look at our clearances. Looks pretty good. We got a nice little 1/4 inch gap right there, or 1/8 inch gap right there. So they're not going to mess up against each other or anything like that. So that looks like it's that's going to work out pretty good. I'm going to have to get an extension of some sort. Maybe one of these will do it. Oh, that one almost fits. We're going to need to extend this out so when the bike axle's tightened on, it has something back here to sit on. Let me throw this washer over the top here. But I'm going to work out the washers and install it back on the bike. But it's that easy to install this onto the second freewheel on. All you had to do is screw that adapter on, and now we're here. It's gonna, since I only ran this with one freewheel, it's gonna change the way I align the chains and everything to get everything hooked up. But I don't think it's gonna be that much of a problem. I will have to work out a pretty good way. I'm just gonna get some sort of spacer to put in here. That way I can make this nice and solid because the forks on the bike press right up against this and the bolt goes on the other side. And you want this to pinch down really good to operate correctly. As you can see, we have freewheel both directions. Well, you can tell this one's new and that one's kind of used. But I got this for $3 at the local bike charity. And it's better than going out and spending 20 bucks on one online. So, it keeps the cost of the build down. But next video, I'm going to hook this back up to the bike, and we're going to play around with that. Another thing I have coming, which I'm just going to move you right along over here. Right along over here. You see my lead acid battery right there. We run 2 of those on the electric bike to get it going, and it doesn't have the greatest of range. So I got these battery holders for 18650s, and so you can see the slots. Each slot is independent of each other, so you can wire them up with the prongs on the back any way that you want them set up. And I'm going to do all these just plus, 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 minus, 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 minus. And this will be 1S of a 7S pack, and it's going to be 7S 4P. But this is going to let me use junk batteries. Whenever I have a bad cell, I can just pop them out like changing a AA battery, put a better cell in there, and keep the battery pretty fresh and get the advantage of recycling some cells. I also picked up some 18650 Samsung cells. Those will be coming up in a later video. And that's really all I have for you right now. We got a lot of neat videos coming. I'm planning in the next week and a half to have this whole cheapest bike on Amazon deal taken care of, and possibly a lithium ion pack installed and set up on it. And then we'll have the grand total for how much I had to spend to get the cheapest e-bike that I can make. But until next time, build stuff and have fun.